I'm not Papa, that's Papa. I'm Dorset. Donnie. I'm not Papa.
All right. What's up, everybody? This is Board Game Faces. Today we're going to be playing Dilluvia Project. We're going to be building a city in the sky. I'm here with Randall today. He played Gaia Project with me last time. This time he's here to play a little Dilluvia. We've only played it one time, but we had a lot of fun. And we're ready to show you guys how to play it because it was a blast. So we're just going to go through some of the basic ideas of how to play the game. And then we'll just get right into it and basically teach it by playing. So I guess we'll have Randall go ahead and go through the basic actions of the game. And then we'll just start playing it.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for having me, Board Game Faces. Well, let's kind of go over the board and go over what they are. Essentially, what we are is in a world where overpopulation has caused people to look for alternate methods of living, and new technology advances has made it able for people to build cities in the sky. So this is the first project, the first city being built in the sky. And we're going to see if it's viable. So we're playing the role of architects and engineers, basically making this happen. So let's go over everything. Right at the top here, we have 7 rounds. Now, this is our round marker here, and we'll kind of go over what all the iconography means here. But there are 7 rounds for the game. And let's go over each worker placement or management spot. So first we have the turn order. Now this has a pretty unique mechanism, and I'm going to show you how all the mechanisms work once we find out which each spot does. Over here we have the finance, which is how you gain some money. Down here we have the construction zone. Now you can either construct buildings or you can construct on the propellers that you can see around the game board here. You start in the center and build outwards, and this lets you expand. Then next over here we have the garden tiles. This is how you build gardens up there. So everybody knows you can't have a city without gardens, right? Right here we have resource cube movements, and that's going to be explained a little later. Right here is where we have our territory purchase. This is where you purchase locations to build your tire.
That's the resource purchasing, right?
Oh, you're right.
That's all right.
It is. You're right. The territory purchase is right here where you build it. This is actually how you get resources. You can see the different types of resources. Right here, this is how you acquire market tiles. Market tiles are used throughout the game up on the top there. So this is the market tile area right in here where there's several different ways to gain those throughout the game.
Yeah. So we'll be playing the game. We'll be explaining each action as we go. So let's get it on. All right, so this is the player board for the game before we get started. Each player has the same exact player board. We start with a housing marker, and we have income markers. We have 3 different ones. We have a resource marker. We've got a prestige marker, and then we've got a money tracker, arrow as it's called in this game. And as you move through the game, you're hoping to increase your income for these different markers and eventually get it to where each round you're getting a huge income, possibly $15, 14 prestige at the start of that round. And each building you build, you'll move up 1 little building icon on your board. So if I've built 2 buildings, I'd be here. If I built a 3rd building, I would be here. And what that means, just very briefly, I'll show you. We have a population track marker on the board, and we have a prestige marker on the board. So we'll be earning prestige as we play the game, and each time you get to a 10, 20, 30, what would you call that? Multipliers of 10?
Yep.
You get to score wherever you're at on this board. So if I get to 10 on prestige, so if I get to up here, let's say my population, which is like your victory points, is only at 5, but my prestige hits 10. Then, as soon as I hit 10, I go to my board. I see where I'm at here. If I've built, let's say, 3 buildings, I would get 3 population points, which is victory points. So the prestige marker is very important. So there's a lot of ways to earn prestige, but I just want to cover that briefly before we get started as well.
All right, so we started off every round by coming up here to the market tiles, and we have our little zeppelins here. It's going to basically mark out which path that we want to do. So each player has started with a sum of money. The first player starts with $2, which is called arrows in this game, 2 arrows, and the second player gets 3, third player gets 4, and so on and so forth. So what happens is you place your zeppelin along one of these axes, the X or Y axis, and then you have access to purchase all of those in the same row. Now, the way that that works is the first one closest to your zeppelin is going to cost $1. The next one is going to cost $2, and then $3 and $4. And it is cumulative. So if I wanted to purchase this $1 and $2 tile, the total would be 3. If I wanted to purchase this $3, the total would be 6, and so on. So the very first game or very first turn, when you don't have too much money, it does make things a little more interesting. You've got to choose accordingly. So let me take a moment here, and I'm going to choose my spot. I think what I'll do, since I can really only afford 1 at this point, is to come on over here and spend, I think I'll pick this guy up right here.
So if you see what he's right next to, he's next to resources. So he'll spend $1 to get those 2 brown resources, $2 to get the 2 tan resources, and he doesn't even have enough to get any more than that because he only started with $2. So realistically, he can either choose brown or tan at this point. And for me, I mean, early on, I'm probably thinking the same thing. The only place I couldn't go is directly across from him. I can go anywhere else. I can come here, 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 all the way around the market. But I think for me, I will go here to get possibly $5.
One thing to keep in mind about the market tile zone is when one of these tiles gets taken. Now, they do refill every round, but let's say, for example, that Curtis had come over here instead of where he did choose to go. Now, if I choose to purchase this tile, that means there's no tile along this line. In this instance, Curtis would actually get $1 from the bank along with his purchases here. So he would no longer have access to buy this tile. So that is something you'll see in the next rounds when we have more money to purchase tiles. You may see us kind of crossing over, but that is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and in 3 and 4 player games, it seems to be a bigger factor because there's more zeppelins out there, so there's going to be more empty spaces. So if you're 4th player, by the time it gets to your turn, there might be 2 empty market tiles in your row, and right away you start with the $2 discount or $2 that are coming your way. So it's kind of cool. All right, you're up, Randall.
All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and come up here. I am going to purchase this one, and it's going to cost me $2 because it's in the second slot away from my zeppelin. So I will take that, pay my $2 to the bank, and then this is now mine. I have purchased this tile, and you can see it's got a little symbol right here in the corner. Now that symbol matches up right there, and it says use immediately and then discard. This is a one and done immediate use card. So I'm going to trade this in right now for 2 resources of that color, and then it's Curtis's turn.
Sweet. All right, and I think so. I have like what, $3? So I think I'll get both of those because it'll be $1 for this one. That's an immediate $5 reward, and this one I get the 2 white resources. So I'll spend the $3 immediately, and I'll grab both of these, and I will. So you see the 5 and the 2 resources. I'll cash them in immediately. So I'll get $5 as well as the 2 white resources, and that is.
So now we're done with the market phase, and we're going to move on to the action phase. So now I've got to check the board out and pick my action. So what I'm going to actually do first is to come up to this area here. This is the finance action, and I'm going to take some of my workers. Now you start out with 5 workers of a normal size and 1 large worker, and there's a specific bonus that you get for using that. So let's come over here and see what it does. Now you can see if I were to place 1 worker here, then that's going to net me $1. If I put 2 workers here, that's going to get me $2, and then you get a bonus for putting 3 workers there, which is $4. Now over on the side, each one of these spots has a little bonus if you use your big worker that I just showed you. It gets you an extra 2. So I tell you what, I'm going to take 2 of my normal and 1 of my large workers here and put it over here, so I have a total of 3, which gets me $4. but I also used my big guy right there, so I'm gonna get $6. Now I have to do this because, be perfectly honest, I missed that $5 market tile over there and Curtis snagged it from me. So I've got to spend my turn getting some money so that I can make further actions. So this is immediate. I'm gonna get $6 for that right now.
It's not too bad really, because you only started the game with $2, so it would have sucked just to start the game with only getting $5 and no resources. So I don't really blame you there, man.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, I guess.
So I think what I'm going to do, I'm looking towards these juicy resources over here, which we're going to need a lot of, because if you look at the buildings, which we didn't really talk about too much yet, this building board shows all the different resources to buy different buildings. This first round, the only buildings that are even available is the level 0 building, which is up there on the top left, that white building. And now that it's round 1 officially, the level 1 buildings that Randall just opened up for us. So the level 0 building is the only way to get extra workers. So if you look on there, you'll mark it with one of your little cubes here, showing which part of the building you want to use. So you'll decide at that time, do I want to get an extra worker, or do I want to get 2 extra prestige every round? Now the worker is just a one-time bonus that you only get the very first time you put that token there, and the prestige you'll get every single round. So it's a tough decision, but my goal right now is to get some of these resources, because I started the game with 2 white, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I'm gonna use my special worker as well. Randall did the same thing. On this one, you just get an extra resource. So I need, for the level 0, I have white, so I need tan and black. I think I'll go ahead and go to the tan space. And one thing I should point out with these worker spots, the first 2 spots are free. The third spot has a little 1 on there that would cost you an additional $1 to go to. So just keep that in mind. With 2 players, it's not as big of a factor, but with 3 and 4 players, it does become somewhat of a factor. So if I come here, I've got 2 workers there, but I get an extra 1, so I'll get 3 tan resources. I know that tan is kind of a useful resource for a lot of buildings throughout the game, so it's not going to hurt me to get 3 tan resources. Now it's back to Randall.
Okay, I think I will do the same thing. I'm going to come over here and also get resources, but I've already used my big guy, so I've only got these little ones left. I'm going to use 2 of them in that last free spot for these tan resources and take 2 as well.
All right.
Oh, I take that back.
Okay.
I actually got tan resources for the market tile, so I'm going to pull a bit of a Rotto here.
It's all good.
And change it over and get 2 white resources. How's that?
A little disclaimer, we're both drinking a little bit of whiskey while we're playing.
Yeah.
So if we get a little silly, sloppy, don't hate.
No judgments, just go with it.
Just roll with it. And it's getting kind of late at night. We both worked a long week at our normal, ordinary jobs. All right, I'm back up. I'm gonna keep pushing the resource track. I know I want to get a building out this thing. I want to do some construction. So I need black. So I'm going to put 2 more on black. So, I mean, you can put 1. You can put as many workers as you want. I only have 4 left. I could put all 4 if I wanted to get 4 black. That would make it so that I couldn't do any construction. But I want to keep these two little worker discs for future actions in this round. So I'm gonna get two black resource tokens. So now I've got 2 black, 3 tan, and 2 white. So I'll be able to do something at least this round.
So I have 1 left, and what I'm gonna do with that, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna reserve myself a spot. So I'm gonna purchase a territory over here using this location. And what I do is, since I only have 1 worker, it allows me to purchase 1 territory for $1. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend that $1 and grab one of my cubes. Now, Curtis, follow me over here on the board. Here's how the placement goes. You start out in the middle, and you have access to these squares surrounding the first propeller in the middle. Now, you can branch out to these other propellers by using the construction placement zone, but for right now, I get to choose one of these. So I'm gonna choose just randomly this one here. Now that means I'm the only person who can build a building here. Now these cubes, they are finite. You only have a handful of them. I want to say it's 12, I believe, and that's it. So you have to really, you can't just purchase all these territories without building, because you can run out of cubes and won't be able to do anything. But that's my spot for my final action this round.
Yeah, a territory purchase basically just you're buying land in the sky little city. It's like buying a piece of property to build your house on. So Randall's got that piece of property, and you know what? I'm probably going to do the same thing, especially since I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just going to go over and do some construction, but you got to have the land before you do construction, right? So I'll put my little worker right here. I'll take my little green cube and I'll put it right out there somewhere. I'm trying to think where would be a good place, because the direction you expand is kind of important, because these different propellers have different victory points on them as well. Not that it matters that you're there, because as soon as you build a propeller, you can start building from that propeller. Otherwise, you can only build from where you started. So like if I started here, I can only build that direction the whole game orthogonally, unless I bought a propeller. So I think I'll go right there. Seems like a good enough spot. And that's that.
And it's still your turn, since I'm out of workers. I spent most of my guys up here at the finance spot getting money, so it's back to you.
Randall's out of workers. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to try a little construction. Since I got the resources, let me zoomed in a little too much. Let me zoom in on this construction area, because this is an important action. You're not going to win this game unless you do construction. So if you see there, the propellers are just simply a money amount. Each propeller has a dollar amount on them in pink. $9, $10, $12, whatever they are. The other one shows an amount of resources to build a building. So let me show the building that I want to build. It's going to be a level 0 building. I might be able to edit that out a little bit. So it's that Big Daddy right up there in the corner. So it needs a white, a tan, and a black resource. That's this one right here. It's the one I already talked about a little bit, because I'd like to get an extra worker. So basically, I take my resources, I take a white, well, let me send my worker over there first. So my worker is over in the construction zone. And I've got my white, black, and tan resources. I'll turn those into the supply, and then I'll grab the level 0 building, which is right here. I like to have extra workers in games. You don't have to feed them in this game, so I figure why the heck not? Extra workers are good.
Pretty much the only game out there where you've got workers you don't have to feed, huh?
So now basically, yeah, exactly. So now the land that I purchased, that gets removed. Well, technically it'd be used to put on the board. I put it on there signifying that I'm going to get an extra worker. And I take my extra worker from the board. I'll just put it right there, indicating that at the end of this round I'll get that extra worker. So that's the end of the round. Now we'll go into the income phase, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We go into the income phase. So right now we don't have any income because nobody's really done anything. But this would be the point where you take a look at the arrow, the income markers, income trackers you have on the board, and give yourself either the resources, money, or the prestige associated with where your marker may be. So since we don't have anything of that, let's reset the board to round two. So we take our round tracker, moving on to the second round. And we're back to the Zeppelin placement. So after careful consideration, I think I will place my Zeppelin right there.
I see what you're doing there. You're gonna be able to get a quick 2 resources and $5.
Yeah, I don't think I want to spend so many workers over here getting money again.
It's probably the spot I would have gone to myself, sir.
And you know what? While you're doing that, I'm going to take my workers back. I forgot to do that.
Oh, I got one out there still. Yeah. All right. And we also forgot that I forgot to pay the $1 to buy the piece of land that I bought, so I retro paid that. So we made sure I paid that $1 in the first round. Oh man, I think resources are good early. Money's good early. A lot of these market tiles have some really great benefits, but sometimes early on it's good to get that that little resource engine going. I think, having said that, man, I'm tempted. So, based on where Randall is, I'm assuming he's probably going to at least take that first tile for $1. So I'm considering going here, just because I would get the $1 discount just by him taking that. And there's a couple good tiles up there that I like as well. So I think I will go there, actually.
All right, perfect. So come to me. I'm actually going to buy both of these. This is the 1 tile and the 2 tiles. So put them together, and that's going to cost me $3. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Get my $2 change. I'm going to turn this one in. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to buy this one as well.
Bala.
Just because, you know, that's what I had. Now, this one here, if you want to look at that, this one there does a couple things. One, it gives me a prestige point right away because you can see, or a population point, is it? Population point. So let me come over here, move that population marker up 1. And what this does is anytime that I purchase territory in that configuration or that configuration, it's going to cost me $1 less.
Also, it's got the infinity symbol. I guess that's an infinity symbol on it. So basically, it will last him the whole game. So that's a pretty nice one.
Yep. So my total purchase was 3, 4, 5, and 6. Luckily, I had $6 from when I got that money last round. So
that was pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I liked it. So I have a couple decent tile options here myself. And the main reason I went there because I wanted to get that discount because Randall did end up buying the one I wanted. So I'll get a 1 euro or dollar discount myself. And this one basically says I'll be able to get a, what are these, garden tile. Normally they cost $1, but it'll be free for me. It's a one-time use. That's going to be $1, but I have the $1 discount, so let's say that one's free. This one will be $2. This basically says, we haven't really covered this yet, but this is round 2. So if I buy any level 2 buildings, I will immediately score 2 population points, which we said are like victory points. So
let's turn over these level 2 buildings so we know what we're dealing with here. Go ahead and turn those over.
So these level 2 buildings, they've got a little better bonuses. They're a little bigger. If you put your little marker right here, you'll move your resource income marker up and get $3 at the start of every round. Or if you put it down here, you'll get 2 prestige points at the start of every round. Really good bonuses. This one, and you can choose which one you want. A resource bump as well as $2 each round bump. So instead of the $3, you'd get $2. So I don't know why you wouldn't get the other one.
Well, because this gives you 3 prestige versus 2 prestige.
True. So this one has the 3 prestige, which I just moved that off the camera. So it has a better second option, even though the first option isn't quite as good. So those are the round 2 buildings. So if I were to build a round 2 building this round, I would not only get whatever bonuses I get there, I'd also get 3 prestige right away. And this is an infinity symbol as well. So if I build whatever round we're on, I'll always get an extra 3 prestige, which is pretty nice. So that's going to cost me a total of $2 because I had the $1 discount. It would have been $3. And I only have $2 left, so I literally
so let's get going on the actual actions here. So what I think I'm going to do first, I am going to purchase some territory. So Kurt, send this over here. Let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my big worker because I get to get an extra area here. Now I'm going to purchase this big slot. So it's going to cost me 3 workers. So my big one plus 2 little guys, that's 3 workers. So I get to place a 4 area here. But because I use my big guy, I get a 5th off to the side at no additional charge. Now remember also, when I got this tile right there, this allows me to purchase at a $1 discount. So I'm actually going to be able to place 5 territory cubes for the price of 3. So let me pay those $3 now, get $2 back for change, and I'm going to place those bad boys out. My cubes right here. So here, remember this was already here. So this is my free guy off to the side, and here's that 4. And remember, you have to purchase it in a square. So if I've purchased the 4, you can only do it in that configuration orthogonally from wherever your starting point is. So I had started here, so I could only build here, here, or here at that point. I've chose to go this way. So that'll do it for my turn.
Very nice, very nice. And that was a pretty good move there, Randall. And all I'm gonna do is I know that I want to get a level 2 building, just to be upfront and honest. So I'm gonna take, I think about 3 workers here. And I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna get some pink resources. So 3 workers, but I put my special worker with it. So I get 4 pinks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pinks. Go into my resources. That's all I'm doing right there.
Perfect.
Back to you, sir.
Come on over here. I am going to come over here and spend 2 of my workers on building site. I'm actually going to construct 2 buildings. So now I've spent the last 2 rounds getting the resources required to get that 0 building. I'm going to build 2 of them right now. So Curtis, will you hand me 2 of those 0 buildings? They're not going to do me any good as far as points go, but what they are going to do is get me that extra worker for this one and that extra worker for this one. I'm not going to run out of workers for a while. So let me go ahead and place these. Now again, even though I've reserved all these spots, I do have to build off of this propeller first. So I'm going to take this guy right there. I'm going to get that. Go and get an extra worker, put it on here so I remember to pick it up at the end of the round. And then I will also do the same thing here, just like that.
Nice.
So that does it for me.
You're a worker collecting fool.
That's how I roll.
All right, that makes me, I'm glad I saw you do that, because it kind of makes me rethink what I was going to do, because I was going to construct right away, but the more I think about it, I might want to hold off for a second, take inventory of my resources here, because I know I have enough resources to build a level 2 building, but I wouldn't mind to build another building, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Let me go ahead and get some more resources though, just in case I'm able to. There's a chance. There's always a chance. I'm going to go ahead and get a I'm going to get a tan resource. See if I might be able to pull this off. All right, back to you, sir.
Okay. Well, what I think I'll do is, because I'm down to $2, and I know that at the beginning of next round, I'm going to want to pick up 2 of those tiles if possible. So I think I'm going to come back up here to the finance spot. And even though I've only got 1 worker left, I'm going to claim that $1 to give me a total of 3, so I can possibly pick up 2 market tiles at the beginning of next round. And that'll be it for me. I'm out of workers again.
All right. I see what you're doing, sir.
Yeah, you picking up while I'm laying down?
Collecting the dough.
All right.
All right, I've got 3 workers left. So first thing I want to do is I know I need, so I've got a pink, a tan. I know I need 1 more white resource. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is go grab a white resource. So I got the white. Now I'm going to build. I've got 2 tokens left. So if I do 2 build actions, let's go over here to construction is the technical term in this game. Oh, but I
was wondering when you're going to see that.
I just ran into a predicament. So I kind of jacked myself up because I went ahead and got all resource happy, but I don't have the land to do it. As you can see, I've got my 1 piece of land out there, this sad little 1 piece of land that I own. So I've already made the decision to get all these freaking resources. They're not going to do me any good right now. I might just go buy some land, but I think I'm better off just getting some cash so that when we do the market phase next round, I'll be able to actually buy something. So wah.
Yep, that's why I put so much purchase in there, because Curtis mentioned we played this before, and that's the exact move that I made.
Yep.
Got ready to build and had nowhere to build it.
So I got myself 2 more bucks.
All right.
Sadly. And that's about all I can do.
Perfect. So a couple things we haven't done here. Go down to your player board. All right, since you built that one building, you should actually be here on the first building and come over here mine. Okay. And I built 2 buildings, so I should be right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and now our tracking boards are complete, but we don't have any other income, which would normally what we'd be doing right now. So,
but Randall's going to get 2 extra workers for next round, but I'm really not doing anything special the next round. But I've got a bunch of resources, so watch your back, son.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Right.
All right, so we're back to placing these Zeppelins. So I'm going to put my Zepp right here on this spot. I think that'll work for me.
All right, round 3. Oh, we need to move the round marker up 1.
Oh, you are right. Let's move that bad boy up.
All right. I keep letting you be first player, which is kind of hurting me here, I think. But what can you do? Sometimes you got to do what you do. What was this one, Randall? Do you remember?
Yep, that one means that every time one of these spaces is open, instead of being worth $1 to you, you now get $2.
Oh. That's not
very
bad.
fantastic tile in a 3 or 4 player game.
Oh, this one came up when happened to come up when Rado was playing. We know we're throwing Rado out there a couple times, but he made that effective as soon as he picked it up, which may actually come into play. So I think I'll do the same thing. I'm going to try to. I'm going to go right there. You're
Perfect.
up, sir.
All right, so I'm going to actually purchase these 2. I've only got $3, so I'm going to spend this for 1, or buy it, and this for 2, $3 total. So what I've chosen here is that little bad boy right there. It's going to give me $2 for every little square building that I have. Now I've got 2 on the board, so I can cash this in at any time for $4. I'm going to hang on to that. And then I've also got this guy right here for the 2 whites. So I'm going to go ahead and get those 2 white resources right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to hang on to that little money thing just in case I ever need it. Got it in my back pocket.
All right, very nice. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one. And like Randall explained, it's an infinite effect throughout the game where those empty spaces are worth $2 instead of 1. So I'll pay $2 for that. All right, and then I will grab this one for $1. That one just gives me those 2 tan resources, $1. But now this empty square is worth $2, so I will put that into effect. And I'm gonna make sure I grab my 2 tan resources. And that is that,
And now
folks.
we go on to the game.
Yeah, you already know what you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close to it. I think what I will do is I'm gonna come on over here and let's see, I'm going to purchase, I'm gonna put my big guy right over here in the resources with 2 little guys. So 3 workers, one of them's the big guy, so I'm gonna end up with 4 of those brown right there.
Going heavy brown.
Going heavy brown.
All right.
Making moves, kid.
Let's see what you're doing. I'm picking up what you're putting down, son. All right. I know I need more land. That's for sure. For sure. So I'm considering a couple things. This spot's $2. I could do this action down here, which we haven't really talked about too much. Which my finger's at here. I could purchase this up here for $3. This would give me 2 pieces of land for free. So basically this action says you can buy a market tile for $3. 2 pieces of land is only $2. So I don't know if that's even worth it right now. But you do save yourself one of your worker tokens, because I'd have to send 2 workers up there. So really that's the difference it is. Even though I'd pay $3, I would only have to send 1 worker as opposed to sending 2 workers. So do I want the extra worker or do I want the extra $1? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save the worker.
Now there is something to consider on these. If you've noticed, these have all colors. You have to cover your own color first. You can never play on another color, but the white one is open to anyone. So Curtis could come here a second time, but that's as many as anyone can ever go there, is 1 to 2 times.
Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send my special worker there.
Good move.
And I'll pick this up. It's going to cost me $3, my last $3. And it says, by using my special worker, I get to pick any resource I want. So let me spend the $3. I grab that. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a black resource.
Perfect.
So I'm looking to build.
All right, I'm going to come over to the resource producing center as well, and I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to pick up a couple of purples over there, or pinks rather. So the board shows purple, and maybe I'm a little colorblind, I don't know.
No, it is true. The board, if you look real close,
a little purple on the board, but the actual
it looks
colors
purple
themselves are pretty pink.
But then, yeah, those little tokens are pink as could be. All right. I see where you're going. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and start off by using my little token I just picked up, my little market token. It gives me two pieces of land. Get a couple pieces of land. They just have to look exactly like that. Just have to go right next to each other, which is pretty simple to do. I think I'll just go here and here. So that was kind of like a free action, if you want to think of it like that, because I haven't actually placed any workers yet. Now I will take a few workers. I need some money, I know that. I would like to build a level 3 building. Do I have the resources to do that? Level 3 buildings, let's see, they cost 4 tan, which I have, and they cost a white and a pink, which I have as well, and then I still have quite a few. I'm going a little crazy with the resources. I like it. So, based on knowing that I have a good amount of resources, I know I want to save at least 2 for construction, because I want to build a level 3 building, because I'm knowing that if I build a level 3 building, I'm going to get the 2 victory points or population points, however you want to call it, and I have the bonus token that I'll get 3 additional prestige as well. So I definitely want to get to that level 3 building. I also know that I'm going to want money for the next round. So let me start off by getting, well, I'm going to get money from my buildings as well. So it's kind of a tough call. So let me go do some construction first. So I'm going to come over here and do a little construction. I've only got 2 spots though. Do I want to do that yet? I've got 2 pieces of land. I guess I've been running into that issue this game. Before I do construction, let me get some more land. So I use my token to get some land, and I'm going to buy some land. And then I'm in a predicament again where I don't have money. I feel like I definitely feel like Rado now. So I've got to get cash. So let me go get a couple bucks. So I'm going to send these dudes up here and just get, I guess.
Somebody's going to tag him in the comments, and he's going to come over here and be like, wait a minute, I don't do that.
I'm just getting, yeah, exactly. I'm just getting $2. As sad as that is. Back to you, sir.
Sometimes it's a tight economy.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do what Curtis didn't. So I'm going to take my 1 worker here. I'm going to come on over and put it here so I can construct a building. And I'm going to construct that guy right there. Now, let's see. I think actually I'm going to construct this one. So I'm going to construct a level 3 building, and this one here is going to give us, well, I mean, I'm going to throw it down and tell you what I'm going to do with it. Mm-hmm. So I come over here, build it there, take one of my cubes back, and put another one. I can either get 1 prestige and 4 coins every income, or I can get 3 prestige. I'm going to go ahead and get 1 prestige and 4 income. So come over to my board here. Let me show you how this is going to work, since we'll be finally getting on our board. I'm going to take my prestige marker and move it up to the 1 slot. That's going to remind me to move my prestige on the board, the prestige points, up 1 every income. And I'm also going to take my money marker and move that up to the 4 spot. So now I actually have income to look forward to at the end of every round.
And you built a building.
That's right, and I built a building. Thank you, Curtis. So I moved up there. Now come on over here. All right, so here's what Curtis was talking about. We are in round 3. I just built a building from round 3. So I get 2 population points. I'm going to come over here and move my population guy over, 1, 2. And those 2 victory points are on the board. Well, I've got 3 now, but yeah, they're on the board. Good to go.
Nice, nice. All right, so now what I wanted to do was buy some land. I'm back to the land grab. Now I put my two worker disc out there. I'm doing this action here with 2 worker discs. I'm building a piece of land that looks just like that. It's going to cost me $2 that I just got. I'm going to take my 2 cubes, come over to the map, and where do I want to put those? I'll just toss them out, spread my land out here a little bit, and that's my turn.
All right, I'm still just turning in my resources from the last building I purchased, but all right, I'm going to come over here now. I'm going to go somewhere we haven't used yet. I'm going to do these little swap. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. This allows you to move cubes on buildings. Now, so I'm going to come here. It's just a regular guy, so I don't get to do 3. But a normal worker gets to move 1 or 2 cubes. So come over to my buildings, Kurt. Let's show them how this works. Now, I previously used these to get my workers. That's a one-time deal. There's no other income. So I'm going to use it to swap it to the other side and gain myself 2 and 2 for a total of 4 prestige points. So come on over to my board here again. And I'm going to move this marker up from 1 to 5. So 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm steadily moving up this income track for each of my little markers, except my poor little resources. I got to find a way to get resources. But that's how that action works.
Ooh. And I do not like that at all, because him bumping up his prestige to a level 5 is scary to me. So good move, touche. I like it, me likey. So now I'm gonna do my final action, which is all about construction. I got the resources, I got the land. It's time to start building, buddy. Because Randall's way ahead of me in the building world. So I'm gonna send my 2 workers over here to construction zone. And I've got the land out there. I know I want to get a level 3 building. Randall already bought one, so he's ahead of the game as far as that goes. And I'm probably going to get the same building he bought, which is the one where you get the prestige and the money. Or do I want, do I want the one that's $6 every round? This other level 3 building is pretty cool. It's just if you choose the top action up here, you're gonna get $6 income every round. Or at the bottom, you can get 2 prestige every round. I think I'm gonna go for the money. So I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna go for the cash money for now. So I'll move on my player board. I'll move my income marker up to 6.
And don't forget, you built a building.
Built a building.
Terrific.
So I'm there. I'm going to build an additional building since I put 2 workers on the construction zone. And I think I'm going to go for another one of these workers. So I'm going to get a level 0 building. If you see on the back, it's
Don't
0.
forget to move up your population points since you built a level 3 building in round 3.
I did build a level 3 building, so I get 2 population points. Also, I don't want to forget about this. Every time I build the correct round marker, I also get 3 prestige on my prestige tracker. So
First on the board for the prestige tracker, making moves.
So now I'm building another level 0 building because I want to get this extra worker. Since Randall's already got 2 extra workers, it's going to cost me. Well, let me pay the resources. I'm trying to cheat the bank out of their resources to build these things. Because the level 3 is 410, a pink and a white. Okay, there's that. And the level 0 is a white, a tan, and a black, which I still have that left here. So I'll turn those in. White, tan, black. I will put the level 0 building in. I would like to go over there, but according to Randall, we have to kind of go in order. Because I would like, my perfect idea is to put a garden right there. Because you want to surround gardens with buildings.
All right, so let's go to our income. Kurt, if you want to show how that's done.
So my income is going to be pretty straightforward. I've only got 1 income marker out there. I've got the cash. I'm up at level 6. And you can always verify with your building. I've got a level 6 income, so I simply just get $6.
Perfect. Come over to mine. Now I am going to get $4 because my marker is here on the $4 track. So there is $4 for me. But I also have prestige as 5. So let's come up to the prestige track marker up top. And I take my prestige track and move that up 5. Now remember, every time you pass 10, 20, 30 in multiples of 10, you get population points equivalent to wherever your building is at on your income track. So currently, if I don't build anything else, once I pass this 10, which I will get to there next round.
One thing I forgot to do is I
get
built a 3rd building that round. So I've got 1, 2, 3 buildings covered now. So I move up to the next section where if my prestige track got to at least 10, I would score 3 points instead of 2 now. So,
That's right. So let's get on
if
to
you
it.
want to watch the extended version, the full version of the game, just go to the next video. Otherwise, you can watch our thoughts and opinions on this game and watch that video as well. So thanks for joining us at Board Game Faces. Thanks, Randall, for stepping in. For Amber, you do a very fine job. Appreciate it, sir. And we'll see you next time.